If you're looking for your first design job, you should be considering what type of job are you looking for. Should you be working at a design agency or should you be working at a in-house design department at a larger company? In this video, we're going to cover the differences between them, what you can expect in each one of them, and which one should you pick. Let's rock and roll. Hey designer friends, what is up? My name is Ron Segal and welcome back to Flux, where we cover design and helping you on your design career. And today I want to help you think about your first job or looking to your next job as a designer. So I've personally worked in design agencies and also worked in-house at a startup company. And so I understand the different dynamics and what you can learn and what you can expect in each one of them. And I think that you should be mindful of where you're going to get your experience and also build your network. Working in a job has multiple different advantages to build up your career, whether you'll end up as a freelancer or working for yourself. It doesn't matter. It's still valuable to have some experience working within a team where you can be mentored, where you can work alongside other people. And I want to help you think about where should you look for a job. It's not just like, I'm looking for a job as a designer. No, you should be mindful at what kind of company you want to work at. Let's start talking about design agencies because this is, I think, for a lot of people, the obvious thing to do. It's the cool thing to do. You'll work next to other designers. You'll work on multiple different projects. It's going to be very interesting. You'll be exposed to multiple different topics, multiple different niches. And I think working in a design agency is really, really great because of those things that I've mentioned. You're going to be exposed to a lot of different things. You'll also be exposed to the process of working with clients, meaning there's a new client coming in. There need to be onboarding. There need to be probably a strategy session to understand the brief, working with them, delivering to them, presenting to them. So the dynamic is very, very different because it's something like we working with them, we the design agency working with them, the clients. And this is a good dynamic to learn how to communicate your ideas, how to sell your ideas. And you can learn a lot from working within that team. You'll also have a lot of probably designers working alongside you, and you'll have a creative director or a manager who probably has a lot more experience with than you. And that person is probably going to turn into some kind of a mentor or at least somebody who gives you feedback and helps you grow. So you'll learn a lot, both technically and about the process of working with clients when you're working in a design agency. Now, the main difference between working in a design agency and working in-house is that when you're in a design agency, you do a project. That project can be a website, an app, a branding, any one of a design project, and then you move on into the next client work. Whereas you go in-house, you work on a single project for a long term. And I remember, when I was working in an agency and the founder of the startup who wanted to pitch me from the design agency came to me, basically the pitch that he used to recruit me was, look, you're doing all of these cool little project for a lot of different clients. That's really fun and that's really interesting. I get it. But you are not taking responsibility as a designer for the success of any project that you're doing. Because no project, no matter how amazing the team was and how long you've been working on it, that project is just a kickoff to something that's going to take years and years, right? Whether it's a digital product or a website or some kind of a marketing effort. Design is never just one-off thing and then you shoot it and it doesn't require any maintenance. It's always, and you never also get it the first time. So it's always something that you need to work on for the long term. And so he basically came to me and he said, if you are really a good designer and if you want to actually succeed as a good designer, you need to take ownership on your design for a lot of times. You need to go deep, not just do a project for like a month or two and then move on to something else. You want to go deep, really understand the product, really understand the customers that are going to use it. Do version number 1, do version number 2, do version number 3 until you really create a design that really works and help the company really succeeds. So that is basically the big contrast. And that actually was, that sold to me, and I went in to work on in a product company, and actually benefited from all of the things that I just mentioned, of going really deep and working years on just a single product for a single customer and really learning to understand them and how to be a good designer, how to create one single design that really, really works. So the benefit of doing that is that you really, as I've mentioned, you really go deep and you learn about a specific topic and a specific niche. Now, you also, because you are now in a team, working in a single team, this is no longer us versus them. We, the designers, present to the clients. You are now part of the team and you are working with them. It's a completely different dynamic, right? You're thinking together. You are working together. You don't have to always sell to them. You're doing things together. And that's a completely different dynamic. And you also learn much more about because again, they're not clients, they're your teammates. You learn how this company works. You understand the constraints of the company, right? Their funding, what are their resources, and you understand the actual niche that you work with on a much, much deeper level. So the good thing about that is once you work in-house in a team, and again, I worked in a tech startup, but that can also be, working in a marketing department of retail or working in in-house design team of many different companies. You learn so much about that niche. And when you come out of that job, you come out an expert on a specific niche, right? Again, when you work in an agency, you are exposed to a lot of different things, which is great because that might help you. If you're not sure about what you like to focus on and become an expert on, that's good because you're exposed to a lot of different things. But you're not really becoming a master or having a deep understanding and expertise on a specific topic because you only do like 2-3 months project on each one of these topics, versus when you're working in-house and you work years on end on a specific niche, on a specific problem, you get to know the customers, you get to know the niche, then you become an expert in that specific niche. And for me, that was very, very valuable because when I came out of that job, I already had such an expertise on that niche, and specifically in the niche of tech startups, that I was able to use that to freelance and keep getting clients within that niche because people around me already knew that I was working in this good company. And so I have an understanding about how startups work and how tech works and so forth. So one of them is deep, very deep, and the other one is more broad. One more thing that you should be mindful of, though, when working in an in-house team is depending on the size of the company. If you're working in a small company, even if you're working in a big company, that really depends on what team you're going to be working at. You might not be working alongside other designers. And sometimes even your boss is not going to be a designer. What that means is you're not necessarily going to get design mentorship if you're working in-house in a small team. So I think that really depends. For me, it works perfectly well because I got my design mentorship in my first kind of job in a design agency. I got the mentorship, I worked side along designers, and then I was able to take that knowledge and apply it in a small team where I was pretty much a single designer. But it really depends on where you are right now and what you think you need or want, depending on your goals, right? Do you want to expose yourself to a lot of different things? And do you want to get design mentorship, or do you want to build deep expertise that you'll be able then to kind of leverage into becoming an expert in a specific niche and take ownership on a single problem that you might be passionate about? So I think those are kind of like the pros and cons. Obviously, there's no perfect solution, and there's no, you should only do this. It really depends on where you are right now, what you're looking for, and what your opportunities are, to be honest, based on where you are and what kind of job you can get. But it's important to understand that, let's say you want one of them. Let's say you want to work in a design agency, but you just get the opportunity to work in a small team. That's the opportunity that you got. What I think you should be mindful of is, do I missing some of those things that I could get here? Do I miss being exposed to many different kind of topics and niches? Do I miss design mentorship? And if so, you might take that job, but look for those other things elsewhere by side project or getting mentorship elsewhere. So you should be mindful about the pros and cons in each one of these kind of jobs so that you can better your situation and prepare yourself for the next step in your design career. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments below, what you are more excited about? Are you more excited about working in design agencies or in-house design team? Let me know. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.